Hi, this is Robert Lovato with technical support, and I'm here today teaching about the entry check digital and card access control systems that we have available here at SDC. Well, we obviously have a variety of standalone digital keypads and proximity access control systems to meet virtually any of your needs, and there are more coming as we speak. The SDC entry check product line includes standalone digital keypad readers, proximity card readers, and PC-based network card access control systems to accommodate your most basic to sophisticated computer management applications, and more to come. The first thing we're going to talk about today is the entry check, the 918 digital keypad. Real simple installation. The 918 will mount recess into the wall into a single gang electrical box. It's a standalone keypad that's programmable from Keyface. It's a architecturally very clean looking keypad. The programming is extremely simple. You've got 500 user codes, 1 to 6 digit code in length. When you configure the system, though, you need to keep in mind that whatever you configure the system to recognize, if it be 1 digit or 6 digit or 4 digit in length, that will be the unanimous digit throughout all codes entered into the unit. We have blue backlit, moisture resistant keys. You have selectable volume of this keypad. So if it's in an office building where the noise of pushing buttons is irritating some of the tenants, you can turn the volume down. That's a really nice feature. It's a thick stainless steel gauge faceplate. It's 12 to 24 volt AC or DC. And then you've got 4 outputs, 2 relay, which are single pole double throw, and 2 solid state timed or latched relays. This is a really nice application for entry check delayed egress systems, which require Rex input into the delayed egress to give it access through the door, or a reset after it's gone into the irreversible countdown and through to the alarm. So this is a popular application for our delayed egress 1511 and the 101 series and the 1581. Now, we also have an outdoor version of the entry check digital keypad. It's the 920 series. That which is probably unique about this, obviously, is that it's outdoor. It's weather resistant. It can go from 20 degrees Fahrenheit to 130 degrees. Um, you have timed anti-passback, request to exit, enter. It's a vandal-resistant housing, and you also have a Rex input on this as well as the 918. The programming is uniform, and that's kind of the overarching idea with the 920 and the new 923, which is the narrow style, which will just fit on aluminum extrusion or narrow style. It's more vertical. In design, it's narrow, it's attractive. Um, all programming takes place through the keypad, identical behavior, 2 relays. You can bring in a Rex input from another location, such as you have a button at a secretary's desk that you want to come in and activate the electric release or deactivate the electromagnetic lock. You can come in and touch down on one of the tie points in the back of these keypads into the Rex input, which then utilizes the timer on the keypad for that relay for the electric release or lock or whatever we're energizing. This keypad also can be programmed so that one relay, call it the main relay, can be momentary and the auxiliary relay can be maintained. So say for instance we had an electric gate system where we wanted the first guy in to hit a code to bring the vehicle gate to the open condition, and then yet another code, the second relay, could utilize, say, a pedestrian gate, across the way. So anyhow, you got two relays. You can do a myriad of things with this, and you've got inputs and outputs, and a lot of capability. You can actually do an inhibit feature, which disables the activation of any relay. You can bring a timer into that. So say for instance you don't want your keypad to be utilized or anyone to use it between certain hours. You can integrate a timer, an auxiliary timer, into the inhibit input feature, which then just deactivates whichever relay the main relay, from entering a door or whatever. So it gives you kind of an access control feature, which may be desirable for certain customers. Having two relays has been useful with a couple of different customers, such as they want that both relays, based upon one code input, fire simultaneously. So one of them goes up and turns on the digital video recorder so that we get a hard print of who came through the gate, plus allowing the gate to unlock or open or the door to open. So that's a really nice feature included in the unit. You can do a door sensor switch, which tells us we could create a behavior of door propped open. We can make the sounder inside of the keypad go off, or we could even then take one of the other outputs and create a remote sensor light, siren notification that the door has been forced open or is left ajar. So some of the features of the new versions that are coming out or are out are the 920p and the 923p, and the P would mean proximity. So not only do we have keypad, but we also have prox, and then you can do it in a myriad of ways. You can have keypad and prox, keypad only, or prox only. You can use, this is HID, 26-bit WeGAN, 125 megahertz. You can use key fobs or clamshell cards or even printable cards. The nice thing about this is you can integrate a customer that already has an access control system using HID. You can integrate their cards, their existing cards, into this standalone unit. So the 923p, so the 923 is the outside version with a proximity. 923 is the outside version that you'd put on mullion or the exterior of aluminum storefront door that has keypad and prox capabilities. We also have accessories that go with our 900 series and our 920 series, and those are it's what we call a spy proof or spy resistant shroud, and so it just prevents any onlookers from seeing the sequence in which the codes you've put in, and that would be the 900 PS. Would be utilized with a 918 keypad. That would be mounted more. That would be utilized more for an interior application. For exterior, you'd use the 900 PS, same unit with the outside keypad. So one shroud fits both. A common application would be on a gooseneck for an electric gate system. And we got some new features coming out with that that's going to integrate key switch override as well. So you stay tuned for the release of the key switch override emergency. So we also have the 921P. It's the entry check digital and proximity reader. It's the prox controller. And the unique feature or reasoning behind wanting to use this is it gives us increased security for a remote controller. So in a sense, what we have is we have a keypad that'll be mounted exterior of building or exterior of gate or wherever we want. And then we're going to run 6 wires from that keypad back to the controller. And there is where all the splicing takes place. So really at the end of the day, what happens if anyone pulls the 921P or the 924, which is the narrow style unit with proximity on the outside of narrow style aluminum entry mullion, is if they pull the keypad off, there's no wires that they can cross at the back edge of that keypad to get into the building. There's nothing that they can short that allows them to gain access through the locking or whatever device we're controlling, be it electric gate or mag lock or electric release. Here we have the entry check E75 standalone lock set. The entry check, it's our E75. It's a standalone electric battery powered solution. It's providing controlled access for basic and multi-level high security requirements. The E75 is a keypad programmable and combines multiple access technologies with efficient motorized lock set. The E75 can be retrofitted to existing prep for cylindrical lock sets, be it wood doors or steel doors. We've got the E75K, which is the keypad. And what comes with that is the keypad and all the mounting assembly with the motorized lever handle set with a battery pack in there. And then we have the E75P, which is the keypad with proximity reader that has the ability to read HID, 26-bit WeGAN, 125 megahertz cards. The keypad has great functionality and features that is rivals high-end access control systems. We've got great future intentions for this. This is what you might call first generation, but second and third generation are coming quick here. Future idea is that we're going to have Bluetooth data transmission. So we can do audit trails and uploads and downloads, and all of these keypads are programmable. During the initialization of these units, you give it an address so that if you have multiple units around the facility, each one of them is user programmable. So say for instance you set up user groups. You can have 32 temporary user groups, and then you can have 32 access groups with schedules. You've got 3 passage mode options. You've got a timer built into this, so it knows what day of the week it is, what time of the day it is. You can put in schedules for auto unlock, auto relock. You've got access groups that have different schedules. So you've got different groups coming through the door at different times of the day and different days of the week. You can set those up so that each group has its appropriate access for that door at the right time. And that you can kind of get the who came through the door, what time they came through the door, when they came through the door. You can get really all the information that you're looking for from the high-end, high-wired, or the expensive hardwired systems. The keypad has a tamper lockout, so if someone tries to tamper with the keypad or too many codes in, it locks you out for a little bit. You are hardwired capable with this, so you could do a power transfer hinge, of course, and bring power across, thus eliminating the need for batteries. And that's just a really nice option for you. The one thing to keep in mind is if we're battery powered, we have four AA batteries, and we expect to get about 150,000 cycles out of the unit. What we've noticed is that sometimes these units have been installed in poorly lit locations. So, the customer, as you approach it and it being battery driven, we don't just leave the lights on because that would drain and we'd lose our life cycles. So, our recommendation is to come up and hit like the number one code or the number one key, which will light the LED lights up, or the backlit blue lighting in the keypad for 20 seconds. So what you do is you'd hit, say for instance, one, gets the lights on. Now you can familiarize yourself with with the positioning of the keypad and your code. You can hit the star, which basically erases the one activity because that really wasn't a legitimate code, thus allowing you to move forward with the proper code. So FYI, that's just a scenario that we've seen that has played out, and so that you can know and you can speak to the issue, we've addressed it. The nice thing about this unit is it's retrofit. You can retrofit existing locks in a door prep. So your normal lock has a 2 1/8 inch bore for normal cylindrical lock sets. The standard latch back set that comes with this unit is a 2 3/4 inch. Make sure that your customer doesn't try to utilize a Schlage cylinder or latch, because it seems like the jaws might align. They won't. It doesn't work. So they need to use the SDC latch. That's vitally important. We didn't design this for the residential market, so 2 3/8 inch is not standard. You can specify the 2 3/8 inch latch if push comes to shove, and you just have to have it, and that's your whole prep back set, is that it's 2 3/8. Well, then you're going to have to specify that during your ordering. It's a heavy duty ANSI single grade 1. It's we've got the vandal resistant levers, which mean they're clutching, so it's not engaged. And whenever you hit, you populate the proper code, you'll get the green light, which then initiates the solenoid within the lock, thus allowing you to access granted. You've got one request to exit input, one door position switch input. You've got a single pole double throw contact that'll facilitate up to 1 amp, 30 volts DC, so you could facilitate some activity in relay input and output. We've got different finishing, of which is the standard 626 black, 625 polished chrome, and a 605 polished brass. And then that would be for the E75 keypad, and then the lock, obviously we accommodate those same finishes. The entry check standalone, it's a motorized lock set, and we've got different lever trim available. We've got the Galaxy, which is called the G1, and the Eclipse, the E1. We also have Galaxy with the interchangeable core. That is small format. Note, it's small format. So that would be like for best cylinders, which are smaller. So these the E75 has been designed for door thicknesses of 1 3/4 to 2 1/8 inch. The other device that we sell here at SDC is the 930 digital keypad. It's rather similar to our 923. Our 923 is going to be phasing out the 930 from the best of my knowledge. And the 930, it's rugged. It works very well. Has great durability, but it has its limitations. It's got 6 user capability, from 3 to 8 digits long. It's fully weatherized. It's vandal resistant. It's got a durable piezoelectric technology. It's 12 to 24 volt AC DC. It's 10 milliamp typical. It's got 3 outputs, 1 relay, and 2 voltage outputs. 40 degrees Fahrenheit to 160. Now we have the entry check 931 controller and digital keypad. The separate controller is obviously, just as we had spoken about our controller, remote controller. It's for higher security applications. Prying the keypad off the face of the building will not get you through the locking device whatsoever. It's fully weatherized. 2 single pole double throw relay outputs, and tamper alarm, 12-24 volt AC DC. It's got a Rex input. Comes with a 15-foot cable to go from keypad up to the controller. So a lot of times the typical application would be mounting that above the recessed ceiling, above the door, or some location, similar close location. Let's step across now to the E4KP standalone proximity keypad reader. This has 3 functions as well. You can use code, card, and card encode. It's HID compatible as all the others. You can use a fob or a card. Same HID, 26-bit WeGAN, 125 megahertz cards. It has a remote controller module. Up to 650 users can be stored in the memory. It has lock and auxiliary outputs, so we can send bells and whistles and remote activity based upon programming configuration. 32 degrees Fahrenheit to 122, 12 volt DC, no 24, 120 milliamp max. Has door contact input, has a Rex input, 15-foot cable. And so it says access mode selectable, proximity card only, and proximity card and pen. I've figured out a way to make it operate just on pen. That's you'd have to contact me, Robert, at SDC Security tech support, and I can tell you, if you so choose or desire to use this in just pen alone, I've figured out a programming sequence to accomplish that. Now, the entry check E5P access control. This is a really nice standalone or networkable up to 99 users. And so don't be fooled. It's not just 99. You could actually have groups of 99 here. So it can go almost infinite. HID compatible, proximity and pin. You've got the E5P has a reader built in behind the keypad. So you can have 3,000 users with this unit. It runs on 12 volt DC, 300 milliamp max. It's standalone or PC managed. The E5P access mode selectable is proximity card only, proximity card and pen, or you can enroll a card and just use the number of the card, the 5-digit number, to gain access. So it just recognizes the card by pushing in the code digitally. So there it is. It's configurable for duress, door prop output, auxiliary input, request to exit devices. You can have door status contacts, so we can know propped, door propped open, door forced open, all that kind of stuff. Electromagnetic locks or electric releases. Um, you can bring in auxiliary remote cards. So you could have a second WeGAN card reader, which is an option on the E5P, which you do all your programming in the standalone really at the keypad. Unless you network the unit. So we've got some optional proximity readers. We've got an E5PW, which is a proximity reader that looks identical to the manufacturer, to the SDC E5P. Then we've got the E5KPW. So you could bring in a keypad that has a reader in it that can network in. So you could have the E5P controller, say, mounted on the inside of the building, and you could either have the E5PW, which is proximity reader, or the E5 keypad proximity reader on the outside based upon whatever configuration of access you're creating. You can also, if you just want a smaller footprint and a really attractive HID proximity reader, which is small, it's just a tiny reader. It's the 6005B. It's under 2 inches in width by 3 1/8 inch tall, and its profile is very small as well. The E5P access control system has a network configuration where you can bring your E5P over across to an RS485 to a USB. So what it is from the controller, we're coming across with the RS485 digital information, which is then getting wired into USB for the back of your PC. And so now you've got a unit speaking through the software, which is provided with each one of these units. You can network these units together, up to 99 of them, and bring them all in. So you can daisy chain. Each one's addressable, so when you configure the unit, first unit's 0001, and then on and on and on, 02, 03, 04, so you up to 99. And then each one of them can just daisy chain to the next unit, and the data transfer will occur from unit to unit. If you say you want to take door number 2 and you want to change a time zone for a user group, you can just go in, make your programming at your PC, send the information to the units. The unit that it's programmed for, door 2, that's the only one that's going to take that data and log it into its memory, and then subsequent behavior of that group is going to change. You can also use an RS485 from the unit, so that's that same data from our controller coming into a network switch, a network adapter. It's a TCP/IP adapter, which then goes into the company network switch, which then you can obviously have your remote PC or a local PC, and the authentication of administration, that you can have clients that can look in and make adds, changes, and modifications to the access control system.